37 years of persistent pain and somebody recovered. It's amazing to hear how people can get over things that they believed that were never ever destined to recover from. I do some content obviously on here and on YouTube and on Instagram, and somebody replied to a post on Instagram to say that they had a diagnosis of whiplash, degenerate disc disease, I think it was like disc protrusion, generally degenerative changes, including like nerve entrapment. These are things that get bandied about all the time, and lots of us have those changes at certain ages in our lives. We start to get, grey hair. The changes happen when you're late teens. You start to rot. It doesn't mean you're falling apart. It's just the beauty of life is you start to develop and change, and the changes happen in your spine and your joints that happen without pain. But when people have trauma, quite often it gets pointed out, these changes that were there before the trauma, or may have been exacerbated with trauma, but heal within a few months and leave scars. Just like on the outside of your body, it's the same on the inside of the body. But they become the main focus of somebody's pain, mostly because culturally we believe that story, and we've got a medical system, physios included, and I've been part of that story, where we point out these changes and say, oh, this is a big contributor to your pain, or the only contributor to your pain. And this is a person's story for 37 years of having pain, and they recovered. And they've got in touch, and I'm going to actually arrange a time to interview them and share it in this group, because it's really important to know that you can have all those physical changes and still recover. And it doesn't matter how long you've had the patterns around it. It's all about behaviour change. This particular person, they said that they used Pain Reprocessing Therapy. It's a nice name and it's a fantastic approach, but essentially they change their behaviours around the pain. So it isn't something where you get the awareness and then, oh yeah, I should be pain free now. You have to go through a process. Some people do read books or get an epiphany where amazingly, like, the pain switches off. But it's normally a process to follow. The process can sometimes be quick, and the process can be slow. You must be consistent. Whether the pain disappears quickly, you've still got to do the behaviours that you recognise are now the way to deal with sensations that you feel, emotions that you feel, triggers that appear, patterns that you might now recognise. And if it happens slowly and you don't see change, you've still got to keep going. Well, you don't have to, but if you want to move through the situation, you've got to keep going. Look out for some this particular recovery story, and look out for others, because the more you see that you can recover by observing others who've had similar or identical diagnoses, or even just a range of things, that patterns that become familiar to you and they are recoverable from, and you've got evidence for that, then it might help you just take a few more steps in that direction.